Hello, everyone. This is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful Rabbit Hole, Lore and Frey, and the upcoming Jaw of the Dragon. The Mario movie trailer, the new one, the second one, was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it in general. There was a lot of, positive things to talk about when it comes to the animation, when it comes to, the voices, when it comes to, the characterizations. I really, really enjoyed it. But one of the things I noticed when it came to, my coverage, I actually said this in the trailer reaction video. You can go back and watch it if you want, is that, the Princess Peach thing. I saw that and I immediately was like, oh no, MGTOW and INCELS are going to go after this sequence. And they did. I haven't seen any YouTube videos of people trying to bitch about this, but I have seen a number of 4chan comments trying to pretend that oh no, they're Peach is out of character. She's not meant to be girl bossing. That's the term that they're throwing around now, oh man, they just turned her into a generic female protagonist. And I'm just thinking that bro, have you seen any other Mario adaptation material? Have you ever seen any other Mario adaptations? This is pretty standard for her. Immediately there was this fan response of people posting images of the Super Mario Adventures comic, which is actually a really good comic, by the way. But this idea that Peach isn't a proactive character who doesn't do things on her own, who always requires Mario to save her. That is essentially a misconception that non-fans kind of pushed into have kind of promoted into the modern day. It's not really true or accurate. And I think that actual fans are fine. She's been a playable character since Super Mario Bros. 2. This idea that Peach is always a damsel in distress is just inaccurate. And besides, we don't even have the full context of what's happening in the movie. It's possible that the way it looks is that Peach is training Mario to fight Bowser or something. And then maybe in the third act she gets kidnapped, then Mario has to save her. That would actually be cool if she actually tries to fight Bowser, like the Penguin did, fail, and then Mario has to rise up and save her. It's what they're trying to do is present Peach as a likable, charismatic, capable leader who ends up losing to Bowser, and then Mario has to save her or whatever. We're gonna have to see if it plays out that way, but like basically this idea some people have that what they're actually going to do is that oh man, Peach is going to be the real hero, she's going to stop Bowser. It's obviously just a bunch of motherfuckers coming out and trying to ruin like this film. It's just like the Mario voice thing. It feels like people are reaching to try and find something to not like about this, because everything I've seen about this looks great, from the animation to the characterization, from the usage of extended Mario characters. Donkey Kong I was not expecting to see in this game at all. We saw a herd of Yoshis, we saw the penguins. There are so many aspects of this that are just wonderful. I find it very I am just very, very disappointed and downright upset, honestly, at the amount of people who just will not shut the fuck up about Chris Pratt's voice. No, it's not that bad. You need to stop pretending it is. It's embarrassing. And I I think that I think that once the movie actually comes out, these people are gonna very, very, very greatly struggle to downplay its success. That's kind of how I feel about this at this stage, is that these games really, these people are just not going to be able to keep up the narrative that the film is disappointing or it's not very good, because it looks significantly more faithful to the source material than any other video game movie in history, especially the Sonic the Hedgehog one. It's so frustrating seeing the same people who defended the Monster Hunter movie or the Sonic the Hedgehog movie coming out and saying that oh, this movie, it's gonna be ruined by Chris Pratt's voice. No, that's not going to happen. Oh, this movie, it's gonna be bad because of Princess Peach. No, that's not going to happen. How dare they do something a little bit different with the property? How dare they get creative with it? How dare they make a movie? I'm seeing people complain about oh, Mario loses the fight in the trailer. Well, how dare he learn how to be a platforming hero? How dare he go through the process of like becoming a hero in a Mushroom Kingdom, right? In the Mushroom Kingdom, like it's supposed to be an origin story, right? So like it wouldn't make sense for him to like be like kicking ass like right away, honestly. Like I'm not sure, that's not how I would have done it either. I tend to like really emphasize how strong my characters are going into like my stories. But like Mario is supposed to be an everyman kind of person, so that actually does kind of make sense. I do like the fact that it's different than what I would do. Actually, that's something I've noticed with this kind of material in general, is that like yeah, I like things more if it's not something I would do. So in this sense, I don't there's nothing about this movie that's raising any red flags for me. There's nothing about it that looks questionable or weird. But when it comes to like artificial, like fake situations like this, like Princess Peach, like being the girl boss, which she is canonically, like I find myself just wondering like how much people are actually taking this seriously. Like I find myself wondering if people are actually upset by this, because everyone I've seen who's like reacted to the controversy, who's brought it up in any way, shape, or form, like they just kind of dismiss it. I'm just like, yeah, it makes sense for her to like act like that. Like I haven't seen anyone on camera like try to pretend that the movie is any offensive in any way, shape, or form. Because it isn't. It doesn't look woke. There's nothing about the movie that raises any red flags. I am very, very excited for it. I cannot wait to see this movie in April.